Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our City Council meeting, Tuesday, June 5th, 2018. Call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance and invocation by Councilman Ledford.
Would you please rise and face the flag and present the proper salute and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. And I have a motion to approve the minutes. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. So ordered. Thank you very much. Councilman Henderson.
Mr. Chairman, in the interest of a presentation that we have here tonight with a certain canine friend, I'd like to request that we move item 7K to the front of the agenda under
good.
resolutions.
Motion. All right, I have a motion and a second to move up item K. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, please start with item K.
A resolution authorizing the retirement of K9 Duco as a service dog.
Thank you, ma'am. Who could be kind enough to come up and introduce this officer to us?
Bring an entourage, if you would.
Please.
Indulge me.
I will.
That's where those of you that are dressed like me come up behind.
That'd be the entourage he was speaking of.
I'm not getting, no, I don't have that skill. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, Council. To give you a little bit of background on K9 itself, the recent performance by your K9 officers, we have a regional competition, if you will. It's the certification. It's how we make sure that both handler and animal are certified to serve the communities that they come from. And in the region, it brings together dozens of law enforcement agencies. Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama all comes into our regional certifications. And at our last regional certification, Officer Lucas Timmons and Burt received top narcotics detection award. Of all the dogs, they received #1. Officer Barry Brandenburg and K9 Cammy received top explosive odor detection of all the dogs. In addition to that, there was a K9 team from Whitfield County that actually trained with our K9 unit during the same preparation time leading up to that, and they took top honors. So what you had in essence was 2 of our K9 teams and another K9 team trained by the group of individuals behind me took first, second, and third place for our entire region. I was over K9 in special operations as lieutenant and captain for almost 8 years, and I never saw that. And in my experience in the police department, I don't know that we've ever done anything like that. Because of that placement, those officers and their K9s were then invited to compete and certify at the national level. And as a result of that, from animals, from K9 teams, handlers, and animal from across the country, Officer Timmons placed 3rd in vehicle search, 9th in narcotics detection, and Officer Brandenburg placed 18th. That's in the entire nation. For lack of a better term, that's basically the dog Olympics when it comes to police K9s. And you had bronze medals and significant placement in all of that. And that's indicative of the abilities of every single one of these handlers that you have behind me. But with that comes a tremendous amount of output and impact on an animal. The average law enforcement life expectancy of a K9 is about 7 or 8 years, depending upon the strength of the dog and what the training regime looks like. So after that time, they've earned the break. They've earned the right to sit back, put their paws up, and enjoy retirement. Just to answer a question that was posed to me earlier, they don't get a pension. We don't pay them that. I told you I'd bring it up. I got it. But they've more than earned the right to sit back and just enjoy some rest. So in reflection of that, K9 Duco at this point is asking to be retired because of a tremendous career and service that he's put towards this community, locating narcotics and leading to firearms arrest and directly affecting the individuals and impacting the individuals that drive violence in this community, that animal right there has directly impacted it through its service. So I think it's time that he gets to sit back and enjoy the break.
How many years, Chief?
7 years.
Very good.
This is Sergeant Morrison. He's the commander and leader of our canine unit. Do you have anything to say? I didn't figure he would, because there's a
Offer
microphone
anybody else a
here.
chance?
If this was a gun or an explosive, they would all run towards it. It's a microphone. They want nothing to do with it. So, but that's our presentation tonight, Council.
All right. Chief,
Duco have anything to say?
Do what?
Duco have anything to say?
He'd probably eat the microphone. He's that kind of. Now that you bring it up, now see, now it's a negative.
Chief, thank you. When I saw this come up on the agenda, I thought it would be a little remiss if we didn't give you the opportunity to talk about what your officers do every day with these dogs and give everybody an opportunity to see what they're like. I've had I call it an opportunity to see them in action in practice, and it was truly amazing and remarkable what they are willing to do and what they do without any concern, clearly, of themselves. They don't know any better, but those of us that know the lives that they're protecting makes a big, big difference. So thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. The placements regionally are remarkable. The fact that you can go to a national level and place really does continue to show the kind of work that we're doing here. Thank you all very, very much. Councilman Henderson, do you have something?
Well, at the appropriate time, I was just going to make the motion whenever you get ready.
Well, it may be the appropriate time, but I see Councilwoman Burrs has her light on.
Yeah, Duco, you're beautiful. What happens now? Does
Typically, when
retire
a
and
police
live-
officer retires, they grow a ponytail, a beard, they wear a lot of shorts. That's just what I've seen in my career. So I
And
figured
they smoke
Duco's
a lot, right?
probably that a little bit as
so
well. Yeah.
does Duco go to live with one of you all, or is there somebody adopting Duco, or?
His previous handler also moved on from the police department into non-law enforcement employment. Duco will go live with that handler with him and his family now.
Well, good life. You did well, and you're beautiful. Thank you.
I have no other lights. Councilman?
Mr. Chairman, in gratitude to Duco's service, I now move that we approve Duco's retirement.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. All right. Thank you, Chief. Thank you all.
Thank you, Council. Thank you, Chairman.
And with that, Madam Clerk, let's move on to ordinances final reading, please.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 13213, known as the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget ordinance, so as to reallocate $15,000 from general funds to Family Promise to meet the emergency housing needs of displaced individuals experiencing homelessness and shelter needs for veterans in its program.
Councilwoman Burrs? Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. B, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 2, Sections 2400 through 2404, 2406 through 2409, 2411, 2419, 2420, and 2422, relative to the Fire and Police Pension Fund.
Councilwoman Burrs?
Move approval, sir.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. Let's move on to 6A, please.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 26, Sections 26, 26, 26, 27, 26, 34, and 26, 35, relative to fee changes.
Councilman Ledford?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make an amendment to this first reading ordinance, if I may.
Let's get it
Yeah.
on the table first, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a motion
A
to
motion to
approve?
approve. Thank you. I'd like to make an amendment to section 2634, referring to the rental rates or rental dates. Let me pull this up. Approve Neighborhood Civic Association meetings at the Heritage House. Meetings to read, meeting can be held on the first Tuesday or first Thursday and every Friday of each month.
All right. Everybody good with that? All right, we have a motion for an amendment as was just read. Have a second? Second. All right. Have a motion and a second for the amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Councilman,
Move to approve as amended.
motion to approve is amended. And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. All right, thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, let's move on to resolution 7A.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic and Community Development to accept, if awarded, the 2018 Building Better Communities Grant sponsored by the American Water Charitable Foundation and the National Recreation and Park Association to be applied to the East Lake Park project in the amount of $150,000.
Councilwoman Coonrod, followed by Councilman Byrd. Councilman Oglesby, did you have? All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. B, please, Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Economic and Community Development to accept and distribute for fiscal year 2013 through 2019 the Community Development Block Grant CDBG Home Investment Partnership Act Funds Home and Emergency Solutions Grant ESG funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD and program income for a total approximate amount of $3,438,143.
Councilwoman Coonrod, followed by Councilman Byrd. Second. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. C, please.
A resolution authorizing the donation of a 1999 Thomas 77-passenger school bus to the Erlanger Center for Emergency and Disaster Medicine Services to utilize on mass fatality incidents or mass hospital evacuations with an approximate value of $100,549.88.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. D, please.
A resolution authorizing the appointment of Philip McKenzie as a special police officer unarmed for the McCamey Animal Center to do special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. E, please.
A resolution authorizing the appointment of Welford M. Sidnor Jr. as a special police officer unarmed for the Land Development Office, do so special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. F, please.
A resolution authorizing the appointment of John Harris as a special police officer unarmed for the Department of Economic and Community Development, do so special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. G, please.
A resolution authorizing the appointment of Joshua Chandler as a special police officer unarmed for the Department of Economic and Community Development, do so special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. H, please.
A resolution authorizing Collins and Company to pay an on-the-job injury settlement to city employee Dennis Pedigo, employee ID number 60441, in the amount of $49,338.86 for a permanent partial impairment rating in accordance with the city's injury on duty policy.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. I, please.
A resolution authorizing the Chief Information Officer to renew a contract with AST Corporation as the provider of hosting and professional services for Oracle E-Business Suite, SLA, and other technical services to the Department of Information Technology for the period of 1 year beginning May 28, 2018 through May 27, 2019, with the option to extend for 1 additional year for an amount not to exceed $1 million per contract year.
All right, what's the pleasure of the council? All right, I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. Jay, please.
A resolution authorizing the Chief Information Officer to renew a blanket contract with BG Staffing, Zycron Information Technology Services and Solutions as provider of professional services for the Department of Information Technology for the period of 1 year beginning May 28, 2018 through May 27, 2019 for an amount not to exceed $1 million per contract year.
What's the pleasure? Anybody? All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. All right, we have done K already. Let's move down to L, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into a third agreement to exercise option to renew for the partnership agreement with Chattanooga Flying Disc Club for the renewal term of 1 year for the continued use and operation of all present and future disc golf courses at city public parks and for daily use and tournament play.
Councilman Ledford. All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Okay, thank you very much. That takes us to purchases. Ms. Woodard this evening?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
We have 11 purchases for your review and consideration tonight. The first 9 are on behalf of Public Works. First, we have a new blanket contract for ladder climbing safety equipment to be awarded to Air Gas LLC in an estimated annual amount of $200,000. Next, we have a blanket contract for manhole rehabilitation to be awarded to Video Industrial Services, Inc. in an estimated annual amount of $250,000. Next, the purchase of one 1.5 MW portable generator to be awarded to Stowers Machinery Corporation in the amount of $462,290. Next, the purchase of sewer pipes and fittings to be awarded to Piping Supply Company in the amount of $407,280.92. Next, the purchase of 2 Nidec motors to be awarded to Rome Electric Motor Works, Inc. in the amount of $139,960. Next, the purchase of 1 Isuzu cab and chassis to be awarded to Lee Smith, Inc. in the amount of $74,003.94. Next, a blanket contract renewal for grounds maintenance at the Enterprise Industrial Park to be awarded to Special Touch Lawn Service, an estimated annual amount of $35,000. Next, 2 new blanket contracts for river sand to be awarded to first McKinley Excavating and second Ramsey Trucking, in a total estimated annual amount of $60,000. Next, a blanket contract renewal for Comet Vehicle Tracking Systems to be awarded to Axsoft, Inc., an estimated annual amount of $125,000. Next, on behalf of the Transportation Department, we have a blanket contract renewal for pedestrian street light poles to be awarded to Sun Valley, an estimated annual amount of $95,250. And finally, on behalf of the Department of Youth and Family Development, we have a blanket contract renewal for baby diapers and wipes to be awarded to Diapers for Less in an estimated annual amount of $135,000.
All right, I've got Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe I sent this question late last week, but I don't believe I received an answer. What grounds maintenance are we doing at Enterprise Industrial Park?
All right. I'm sorry that you didn't apparently receive an answer to that question. I would ask Public Works to help me address that, please.
Good evening, council. I did not receive that question. I know that the grass cutting contract that is on here is part of the maintenance that we do out there. I would have to get back with you on the details of anything else that we do.
Okay.
That's my fault. I'm sorry. That's my fault, sir. I did receive the question and the response from Justin Holland and did not get it back to you. I apologize. The Enterprise South grounds and right-of-way are managed by the city, and the costs are shared with the county 50/50. It's a continuation of an existing contract.
So we're mowing the right-of-ways?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You good, Councilman?
Yes, thank you.
Well, then I will entertain a motion. Move to approve. I've got a motion and a second to approve purchases. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
That takes us to other business. Is there anybody on the council with other business? Councilman Ledford, is your light for this?
That is, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tonight, I would like to appoint from District 4, Catherine Kitt Parker to the Board of Sign Appeals. Ms. Parker has an extensive marketing background, and I think she'll be a fantastic asset to the board.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair.
That's mine. Don't go blowing it.
It's,
That's mine. Shh.
I know, but
No, but
I'm not gonna say
you get
nothing
time.
about it, but. Okay, but I do have an announcement to make. On June the 12th, there will be a candlelight vigil for victims of hate and post memorial here at Chattanooga City Council, right after the council meeting at 7:30. So if anybody want to attend, please do come out and show your support.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Gilbert.
Yeah, this coming Saturday, June the 9th, from 10 to 2, 5th District Mixer is going to happen up in Washington Hills Center. We have food, we have a photo booth, we're going to have inflatables and more. So please come out, and we're asking our people in the surrounding area to come and voice their opinion on what we want to see at the Washington Hills area. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oops. There we go. All right, Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to, as long as I'm, Mr. Attorney, as long as I'm doing this the correct way, reappoint Althea Jones to the Industrial Development Board for District 2. The reason I'm asking that, does that require a vote, or is it just a?
IDB does.
Okay.
So that'd be a motion.
So I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Althea Jones.
All right, I have a motion and a second for reappointment to the Industrial Development Board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And then I also, as well, would like to reappoint James Miller to the Industrial Development Board for District 3, and that is in the form of a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you all very much. And then seeing no further lights, this past weekend on Saturday, we had a great time out in Murray Hills, kind of celebrating the latest playground opening. And I'd like to thank everybody who helped make that happen, the administration. We worked on that for a while and making everything work out with timing, having to deal with TVA, easements, and everything else. The community came out. We had a big cook-off. It was really great. And the story here I found really interesting is of a firefighter that was actually at the groundbreaking of this new playground. And he and his crew were there that morning, early Saturday morning, to just come and celebrate with the kids. And they were showing the kids the truck and going back and forth and having fun with them. And my own 7-year-old was there as well. And he fell off of this brand new playground, go figure. And all of them, including Captain Blaze, that went rushing over to make sure he was okay. It was kind of fun. I didn't move. They all did. And I just wanted to make sure the playground wasn't broke. But they all went over, checked him out, and it was just neat to see the reaction on something that most people might think is minor. You know, a kid falls down, he's going to get scratched or whatever, but all the firefighters really rushed over. Shortly after the ribbon cutting, there was this accident over on Highway 58, a bad accident involving a number of children in the car. And lo and behold, the same firefighter that was over there that rushed over to make sure my son was okay was involved in helping those families and helping those kids out of the car. And this photo was captured and apparently went viral up on the web. And I just found it really interesting that it kind of tied in to what our men and women do in the fire department on a daily basis, from showing up just at a groundbreaking to hang out with the kids and show them the fire truck, to rescuing kids in severe car accidents, and just doing whatever it takes to help comfort families in really, really bad times. So I just wanted to put that out there and just, again, give an opportunity to say, Chief, thank you. Thank you again to yourself and to all the men and women in the CFD. It's always great to be reminded every now and then what type of work they do on a daily basis that we rarely get to see. So that is it. I just wanted to say thank you and how much I really do appreciate everything that you guys do for us. All right. Thank you, sir. And with that, the last item on other business that we have is an approval renewal certifications for grocery stores wishing to sell wine. And I understand, Mr. Attorney, we need to defer these? All right. The attorney would like to defer these items for 1 week. Can I get a motion to do so? Have a motion and a second for a 1 week deferral. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you very much. Now it's time for committee reports. Councilman Oglesby. No report, Mr. Chair. All right. Councilman Mitchell.
Mr. Chair, next Tuesday, we will have a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting.
Very good. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Planning and Zoning did meet today where we covered all items on the agenda.
All right. Councilman Henderson. All right. Councilman Gilbert.
No report, but I didn't notice my daughter-in-law sitting out there. How you doing? No report.
You don't want to do any more than that? Have them stand up and
Go ahead and stand up. You and your mom.
Come on. Councilwoman Coonrod. No report. Councilman Byrd. No report. Councilwoman Burrs.
Yes, sir. Budget and Finance Committee had another budget education session all day today. A lot of questions were answered, and there are a lot more remain, and we will pick up again at 9 o'clock next Tuesday morning. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. With that, we will move on to the point on our agenda of recognition of persons wishing to address the council on non-agenda items. Is there anybody here this evening that would like to do so? All right. If you go ahead and come up to the lectern, Mr. Attorney, would you please read the rules?
Sure thing. Anyone interested in addressing the council, give them 5 minutes. You'll only be recognized at the microphone. You can't use any obscene or vulgar language. Can't personally attack or personally denigrate others. You only address the council on matters that are within its jurisdiction.
Thank you, sir. If you'd give us your name.
Sure. Russell
You've got
Klisch.
5 minutes. All right.
And I'm with the Governor's Foundation for Health and Wellness. I appreciate my time is here to be in front of you. I've had an opportunity to communicate with a couple of you already. Councilman Oglesby last evening at one of the council meetings, Councilwoman Burrs through the email. I think I've sent each of you emails, opportunities to meet. This is a part of the Healthier Tennessee initiative. Tonight, I'm just here once again introducing myself. You can put a name to a face. We all know, unfortunately, that the state is carrying too much of a large burden as far as with healthcare costs. We just recently passed 32 cents per dollar that we're now taking in, that now goes out to healthcare. This is a part of really having an impact on the numbers of people, lowering the numbers of people that need healthcare. And so I hope I have an opportunity in the very near future to meet with you, learn from you as far as within your communities, which are the neighborhoods that you think would be the most apt, kind of along the way, that would like to have resources, support, opportunities to grants that would help influence the infrastructure to get us moving a little bit more, opportunities to influence education and infrastructure so we can eat more fruits and vegetables, and also look at how do we support programs and policies that currently work, how do we start to create new ones where we have more people in our neighborhoods leading, driving, owning initiatives that look at preventive health. And we're really looking at 3 behaviors, as I told you, the 3 that unfortunately cost our state the most. We need as a population to move more. We need as a population to eat more fruits, vegetables, drink water, and we need to use less tobacco. It's clear in all the latest studies that we are not going to impact with any great degree the cost of services, drugs, or the professionals that give us those services. We really can only impact the number of people who need those 3. I hope I have an opportunity again in the very near future to meet you in person, learn from you, get your feedback, and together have an opportunity to move the Healthier Tennessee Neighborhoods initiative further along. We look forward to probably have a kickoff here in late summer, early fall, have an opportunity to have the governor come down, definitely you be here, you be at the event, and support and enable and encourage our citizens here in Chattanooga and the Hamilton County area to live healthier lives. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, my name is Christopher Dahl, and I reside in Highland Park. And just recently on a radio station, 98.1, I heard that the mention of people coming down here and talking about stormwater fees. So I figured I'd just mention them. You guys have a great rest of the day.
Is there anybody else that would like to address the council?
Yes, and I'll be quick. Becky Cope English, and I reside in North Chattanooga, but I'm here on behalf of the Charles H. Coolidge Medal of Honor Heritage Center. We had our luncheon today, the Celebration of Valor, our 2nd annual, and many of you were there. So I really wanted to stand up and thank you. And last year when I spoke about this, because I was the event chair last year, several of you came up to me and said, this character development program, we need to see it in our schools and our rec centers. And if you were there today, you saw we have taken the character development program into some schools, into some rec centers, and I actually went to Tyner Rec Center myself, and it really is such a wonderful program, the Character Club. So I'm ecstatic to say to you guys tonight that we raised almost double what we raised last year. We're still tallying, but I got the call a little bit earlier and got the note that we raised almost $200,000. So thank you guys for your support. It's a wonderful cause, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Just a moment. Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Becky, for everything you're doing for this cause. And I just want to say thank you to all council people, because I've been here a little over 5 years now, and I don't recall a luncheon where all 9 council people were there. And so I just want to thank you all for the support. Obviously, it's a great cause. I'm late. I'm late to the struggle of the many years that we've been trying to put the Medal of Honor Heritage Center together, but it looks like it's going to really work this time. And just thank all of y'all for coming to lunch today.
Thank you, Councilman. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council this evening? We are adjourned.